Today for us in Propresenter here and how we import songs. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page so that we're importing them with similar templates, importing similar clears in the way that would go. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we're all doing things in the same manner so that as you go from Greece to Chile or to another room, when you're using Propresenter, that the experience is the same and you don't get confused of like, oh, why is one thing done this way here and one thing done this way at another room. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through what the process looks like, what we've found to be most efficient for how we're utilizing Propresenter to make the process really quick and changing stuff, adding backgrounds, putting a clear all somewhere, putting a blank slide somewhere. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first, what I like to do normally, obviously we go up here to the search. And I know we don't have this song in here. If we did have the song potentially, always check here first. Punch in your name. So the song I'm going to actually do is our new one this weekend, which There's Nothing Our God Can't Do. I personally like to search for them by CCLI numbers if I know it's not my library. So There's Nothing Our God Can't Do. Obviously not in this list here. We could keep typing, but no point to. So that's why I'm going to pull up Planning Center here. Go to the weekend we're in, October 4th. And I know this is a new song. It's labeled here for us that way. So if you go over to the right-hand side here, you see the little gray box. This is all the attachments to the song. So if you go to the first one here, the key attachments, and you click on that, you're going to pull up this, which is Song Select CCLI. So this is like the chords and stuff for the band. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's going to be the CCLI song number. So if you copy this number, and then we go back to Propresenter, to the search, we know it's not in our current songs. We go over to the song select, and if we paste this CCLI number, you're going to guarantee that it's going to be the song that's in Planning Center. And you can click on it. It's going to show you that that's what it is. You can double check, just one word. You calm the storm that surrounds me. If you want to go back to Planning Center, go to the beginning of the song. Just one word. You calm the storm that surrounds me. Boom, we got the same song. So let's go back over here. Click on our search. Pull it up. We're going to do an import. So when we import it, this is where it'll look a little different, like your theme and everything, but we're almost always going to use line break. There are paragraph breaks, and then you set the delimiter, the number of paragraphs per slide, but we almost always use a line break and 2 lines per slide. The size is going to be 1920 1080. If you're not sure about that, it'll always be your screen, your main screen output. Which is going to be one of these guys here. It's going to be your Ultra Studio. So if you're not sure about the size, you can always go in there, click that, boom, still says 1920 1080. Our themes look slightly different at each campus, each room right now, just because of the nature of the projection screen, whether we have cameras behind it or not. So for Chile campus here, where I'm doing the demo, I'm going to go to my theme, lyric template, and I'm going to select side screen lyrics. And then I think this is the same on almost all of our computers. So the destination we're going to want to put this in is going to be our worship song library. If it doesn't say that here, just click the drop down, select worship songs. And then I know because we're going to use this weekend, I don't have a playlist created already, but if you've created your playlist, you can go to here, select it. So I got to generate that playlist still. But for this demo, we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to click none. We're going to import the song, and boom, we have our lyrics. All right, so as soon as we do that, our next step before we start adding any backgrounds, before we start programming the song for how we're going to sing it this weekend, is going to be to add some slides in here. And these slides are really going to help speed up the process as you are programming the song. You want to drop the lyrics in an area, or you want to add another background in an area, anything like that. And so one thing I want to point out too is like we're trying to get away from using clear alls, because clear alls, when you do the clear all here, it's going to get rid of whatever it would be in your graphics 3 loop. So if you want to clear just a background in a song, instead of doing a clear all, we're actually going to do a clear media layer. And if we wanted to get rid of the lyrics, we would do a clear text layer. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to add some blank slides. You can do that quickly by Shift-Command-N. Shift-Command-N is in November. Gives you some blank slides. I'm going to add 6. I think that's enough. Once we start applying our cues and stuff, we'll see whether it is or not. So once we add these blank slides, I'm going to right click on this and we're going to change to the group of each one of these. So I've created some different groups here on this computer. They might look different in the computer you're on, but we'll try and get these all organized and so that they're the same exact at each campus. I'm going to do my background ones first. So we've essentially landed on using at most 4 backgrounds per song. Obviously, if a creative song or something special, that may be different. So I'm going to do my 4 background groups. Right click and create 4 different slides. Background 3 and background 4. So these are always going to be where once TJ or whoever is supplying the backgrounds, when we pick those out, you drag and drop the backgrounds right onto these background layers. So I don't have the backgrounds pulled up here for this song, but if you did, you would open your media image bin, and if it's in here, pull this up so we can see if it were one of these, you just drag and drop right onto that slide. So you would just boom and you'd be good. I'm not going to do that though because that's not the background for this song. So we got our 4 background slides. Now we're going to continue to add the rest of our slides. I am going to need to add some more. So our next ones we're going to add, like I said, we're doing away with clear alls for most things unless we know for sure we want to get rid of everything including our lobby loop that is running. So what I like to do, we'll have a clear lyrics. We're going to have a clear media. I'm going to add Shift Command N, add a couple more. I'm going to do one that I just created last week for any spot where we don't need to jump to the next lyric slide right away, but we wanted to sit there for an instrumental break. Maybe we're going to go back into it, but we do a little brief instrumental, or we have prayer and praise within a song. So I've created one called Blank. So you can put that in those moments where there's that instrumental. We could change it to instrumental if we want, but it's used for more than just instrumental breaks. So I like Blank, kind of self-explanatory. And I think, let's look at the rest of their groups here. I think that is it. Let's see. Yeah, so that'll be it. All right, so now that we've added these slides and we just assigned a grouping to them, so we got to go to our clear lyrics one first. We're going to right click. We're going to add an action. Go to clear, and clear lyrics is going to be a slide layer. So slide is essentially any text that we've put into a text box, things like that. So we're going to put a clear slide. You'll see the little icon here matches the icon here. We're going to do a clear media, add action, clear, clear media. Same thing, matches here. If you need to clear media and you don't have one of these for some reason, icons are all right here and the different things. A blank, we're not going to put anything on that. And then on the background slides, what we're actually going to do, because we normally start a song out with a background. If we don't start a song out with a background, then we could put a different slide in there and add the cue. But so all my background slides, I like to go ahead and add my audience look. If I know we're not doing custom lyrics for the song, it's going to be our media to center, text to both at Chilai. I'm not sure if this is the same layout you guys are using at Greece. So you apply your right audience look based on the room you're programming the media in. So I'm going to put this on all my background ones, just in case something gets funky throughout the song. It's going to reapply it and we trigger the background slide. So media to center, yeah, it's going to send our motion backgrounds to the LED screen or the projector in the middle of the stage, and then also send lyrics corresponding in whatever that theme or audience look is to the right place. So once we've done that, let me just take one last look. Yeah, I've put in all my groups, I've put in all my slides, we've done that. Now here's where you would drag in your backgrounds. So if we have the backgrounds picked out, I just don't have them downloaded yet for this song, we would bring those in, drag and drop, and then we'd go ahead and we'd look at the song structure. So for this week, let's go back to our program. At Chilai campus, we know we're going to do chorus, verse 2, chorus 2. Going to do the ooze, which is probably going to be like an instrumental type thing. And then we're going to go to the bridge and then chorus 1 and 2, everyone. So we're going to go back here. What we're going to do is we're going to pull up this right here. This is our arrangement view. So you can have different arrangements of the song. One thing to point out here is once we add an arrangement, so we'll create a new arrangement, I always like to date them with the weekend we're using it. So this one, for instance, is going to be October 4th of 2020. So October 4th, it's now going to populate everything that was in your master arrangement right into here. Two ways. Sometimes this will be pretty close to the structure we're doing, so I'll leave it. If it is way off, I'll delete everything, drag and drop how we're going to sing the song accordingly. One thing to point out, though, is once we open an arrangement view, you can't change the layout of this. Like you can change the layout of the text. So if we wanted to break this up into 2 slides instead of 1, or say the chorus, we want this on 2 slides just because it's how it makes sense. That'll change it for every single arrangement. So just be aware that when you do that, it's not only changing it for your arrangement, it's changing it within the master arrangement, which then changes it for any subsequent arrangements you make in the future. So if you make those changes, just be aware of that. That's what it's doing. So from here, the reason we're starting to do the arrangement views is it's super simple to drag and drop. And no more like copy and pasting the groups of slides, reapplying everything. So we'll pull that up, make this smaller here so you can see the structure as we do it. And scale this down some. All right, so chorus 1. All right, well, we see that we have verse 1 here. I'm just going to drag this in front. We're going to do chorus first in the song. Then we're going to go to our verse 1. Then we're going to go to chorus 1 again. So drag a chorus 1 down here. Then we're going to go to verse 2, which is already there. Then from verse 2, we're going to go to chorus 2. Boom, already there. Out of that, we're probably going to do, like I said, an instrumental. So that's where I'm going to bring one of these blank slides in, put it right here before we go to the chorus. Possible a background will change here. Then we're going to go from that into the bridge, already there. And then out of the bridge, we're going to go 3 times, it looks like, through the bridge. So let's drag and drop that. Personal preference, I like to just see them all in order. They don't necessarily have to be. You could just keep looping the one. But for the sake of seeing exactly how they're singing the song, I'd prefer it this way personally. It looks like our bridge actually didn't take our proper look. I'm not sure why it did that. Really weird. So, and then out of the bridge, we're going to go chorus 1 and 2. So we're going to drag and drop both these, chorus 1 and chorus 2. I'm not sure what this ending is. I don't know if we'll actually do it, so we're going to delete that. In rehearsal, if we need to add it back, we can, just by coming here to your arrangement, drag and drop, boom, good to go. And let's just look over our structure again, and sweet. All right, so we programmed our structure. Now here's where we, at the, whoever's giving backgrounds or doing that for the specific song, we drag them all into the slides. They'd all be down here currently. Say if we wanted background 1, boom, we just drag and drop the beginning of the song. It's there. The biggest thing to make sure is whatever our first slide is here has to have the audience look. Because if we came from a message element, came from an MC spot, and we don't change that audience look, our text isn't going to go to the right screens in the right places, which is just going to look really bad. But I like to, listen. So like once I've done this, programmed it, I like to just listen to the song, see how it's broken down, see how it's sung, see how it's musically played, just to get the slides in the right order. So that's where you can actually go back to like the master arrangement and say open up the reflow editor, listen to the song. If you, for some reason, this feels like it should be 1 slide, this feels like it should be another slide. You can break that up pretty easily. Put your cursor in, insert slide break. But I'm assuming it's probably going to be sung pretty much together, so we can just undo that. Leave those together. This all looks like it's probably pretty good. Always just make sure too that like your text isn't getting cut off on any of your screens. Things like this, parentheses, you can get rid of those. Any words that are repeating, I don't see any in this song. But sometimes if you have like 2 hallelujahs back to back, break those up, 1 per slide, and just have 2 slides. Any weird punctuation, so sometimes we have words that are abbreviated, type those out fully. But I think other than that, I've hit everything in the basic building of a song for us. Like I said, the biggest thing I want to make sure we're getting in the habit of is these background slides. So if we go back to that master real quick just to look at it, as soon as you pull the song in, add these. It's going to save us headaches down the road. Because now you don't have a background layered on a verse, because then when you drop the verse somewhere else and you're going to trigger the background again. The whole point of the background slides is so we're only triggering them once and not just putting them into a continuous loop every time we go to the top of the chorus. Because every time you do that, you're actually restarting the background. And if the chorus is only 10 seconds long and you have a 30-second background, you're only ever going to see the first 10 seconds of that background. So that's where the background slide comes in handy, because you can cue it before the chorus, repeat the chorus 10 times, and you'll have seen the whole background the entire time, just looping all 30 seconds of it versus the first 10 seconds of it every single time we trigger it when we go back to the first slide of the chorus. Other than that, though, that's pretty much how we are doing the basic building of a song. And then if your look is different or whatever, like I said, it may not always be this same audience look. If it's a special song, it may be a special custom layout that's been created for us. It may not go to side screens for some songs. It may only go to the center LED screen or projectors. But I think that's pretty much it I have for this first training that we're going to do. We're going to see a lot more of these coming down the line, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Really trying to make it simpler for you guys. I know we're using the software in quite complex ways. And I was the one who kind of created how we're utilizing it. So I just want to make sure we're able to all understand what each different thing actually is doing that I've added into here or created. And we'll do some more deeper dives, but this was just a basic one, something that we're doing every single week that I want to make sure we're all on the same page of. So yeah, I hope you guys really get to take a lot out of this. Hopefully it maybe answer some questions you may have had. But if you have any questions, feel free, leave them here in the comments, or talk to us, and we can give you a hand with it. But yeah, so looking forward to the next one.